we'll find a way to pivot it of just like, yeah, speaking of long contracts, I'll tell you what doesn't have to be a long contract. Your for this great station. So that might happen. That is a thing that will happen every once in a while. But also, I'm a little bit further behind on the playlist than I thought, just because I expected less talking. And I forget Pledge Drive. I always do too much talking. So, yeah, that's another thing with Pledge Drive. But as far as things go, is the record going to be available for streaming in 2 days, and then the release show is next month, or are you holding off until next month?
The record comes out on July 25th.
Okay, perfect.
And then, then the release is August 19th. Or the release show, I should say.
Yes. Okay, cool. I just wanted to get the logistics right before we started talking about it. So we can also just like have a whole break on the air to talk about that. So here's what's going to happen. Usually this would be the point where it's just like, oh, we're going to talk about local shows, but like that song is not in the playlist yet. So we can talk about whatever. Really. But I at least want to talk about like the new single and then like the release date for when they can stream the record. And we can kind of like breadcrumb as we go, like talk about the show and all that stuff. And
cool.
And then I'm sure there will be a pledge rap in there every once in a while. But yeah, this song's got about like a minute and a half. So how are you? Are you both officially moved to Minneapolis? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's the vibe.
We're currently in Winona, but yes, we live in Minneapolis.
Yeah. And we're the only two. We're the only two that are living in Minneapolis, but we're in Winona. Everybody else is like working.
Oh, so like you're the only. Is everyone like you're the only Winona bandmates in Winona, and like everyone's like not in Winona right now?
Yeah,
they're like all at work right now.
It's like the worst band practice ever.
Yeah.
No, that's it's. So is that the plan to get everyone up there, or are you just gonna be like, nah, do it, not? Because I'm definitely in an interesting situation where it's just like I'm not being pressured to move to California. It's just being playfully advertised.
The Minneapolis to LA pipeline.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on, stand by. We're about to go back on the air here. LCD sound system here on KFAI, and before that we had Radiohead in Rainbows off of Sleeping Jesus' Desert Island Picks list. So if you're just tuning in, this is Desert Islands, the show where I make mixtapes based on my guests' 10 records they bring to a desert island. And right now I am speaking with Sleeping Jesus. Well, we were on the online chat. We were discussing that I'm speaking with the two members who live in Minneapolis who are now in Winona, and the Winona castmates are not in Winona.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Speaking with Nick and Andy from Sleeping Jesus, who are currently in Winona, and you have had a new single come out, and more music is on the way. If we like what we heard, when is the new record available for streaming?
The record's gonna drop on Monday, July 25th. The whole thing will be out then.
Perfect. And what is available right now on streaming services?
Yeah, we started putting out singles from it in I think beginning of May, and then we've sprinkled like 3 singles out so far. We just released a new one called New Year's last week.
And then we've also done a video for both of them, or the first 2, and then another video for a live video, and then yeah.
Nice. Well, we're going to be hearing New Year's a little bit later in the show, actually. So stay tuned for that. We're also going to hear some Arcade Fire, some Beach House, and we're also going to be talking about pledge drive here at KFAI because it is pledge drive time. We've already had some people call in to the studio line. I cannot pick up. It's not because I don't want to. It's just because I've got this screen in front of me, this screen in front of me, and then these two over here, which I already don't pay enough attention to if you tune into this program. So it's not that I don't want to talk to you. I do. I think it's awesome to talk to you. I love doing this because I do get to, like, you are hanging out in Winona right now, and we're just talking as if we are just at Ed's, which is cool. But so I love doing this, but a lot of moving parts. So call 612-375-9030 if you want to do a pledge rap. Someone else will talk to you, or just do it online, kfai.org, either now or after the show, especially if you're tuning in after the fact. But speaking of the screens that I often neglect, before we hear Beach House and Arcade Fire, we're going to hear this. Yes. Okay, so I got two of these. I got to get in before the top of the hour. And top of the hour's in 4 minutes, so good on me for getting that in. That's what's gonna happen, and then we're gonna do 2 more tracks, and then the original plan was to have the local music at the top of the hour, and I kind of talked through it, so it's gonna be a while. It's, we'll probably have the new stuff a little bit later in 11, a little bit later than I wanted it to be anyway. One more, and then I don't know. So hopefully we'll have time to get to everything. If we don't, the playlist gets posted. But more behind than usual today. I don't know if it's just like lack of sleep or caffeine or what. Everything is just kind of in flux. I'm actually kind of moving as well, but not just to St. Paul. Which is funny. You're gonna notice this. Oh, hold on. You're gonna notice this now that you live in town. When I first moved to the Twin Cities, I moved to St. Paul. So like all the people I went to college with, I was just like, oh yeah, I guess I'll just see y'all all the time. And they were treating it like it's just like, yeah, but you're like all the way. It's not even that far. Like it's, and they use the phrase like all the way in St. Paul. So like my friends are treating it like a funeral. Arcade Fire is on here, but like it's kind of, that's kind of how it's just like, oh, so you're like gonna move, you're gonna move like across the river. So like we're like never gonna
it's very East Berlin, West Berlin.
It's like wait, so do you even like get like the current out there, or is like it's like how does that work? Like that's just kind of how people treat it. But we're kind of like trying to take our time with it, you know, like we're trying to like, I'm trying to eye it up in like, okay, September, like thinking that was like a lot of times. Like, September 1st will give us plenty of time because like there's like summer block party season, and I'm trying to finish mixing this damn record, which like I should stop kicking myself for, because last month I was like, I need to finish this record, and I stopped recording. So it's like I there's that. Now I need to finish mixing. So it's like progress has been made. But it's because this keeps happening, and you're like, oh yeah, September's plenty of time. It's not plenty of time. I feel like I'm already out of time. It sucks.
It does
so
feel
I'm
that way.
kind of in my brain's there. That's like that's the space I'm in.
Yeah. Especially when you're looking ahead at like doing shows and stuff. It's like, oh my God.
Right. Everything seems so far away, and everything is like tomorrow at the same time. And that's for everything too, where it's just like, oh yeah, we got that single coming out, like that LPF single. I was just like, oh, I should start promoting that. Yeah, but I mean, like that happens next month. It's like, no, it's 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's just like everything is just like, yeah, but it's just like, no. And it's just like, so it's just like a weird thing. That I don't know. So like, are you officially done moving, or do you have several trips? Like, are you like at least like all the stuff's here and like you can kind of unpack and kind of get into that stasis, or are you still kind of going like, all right, I'm out of Winona, but I got to go pick up a few things and like.
I know for me, like I know Nick moved up at the start of the pandemic and then moved to a different spot in the last year or so. Like I waited and just did an entire weekend where I just knocked it out. I knew I wouldn't be able
That's
to.
the way to do it.
You know, I did a U-Haul and just drove it up. And of course, it was like the 100-degree heat day, so it was like,
oh my god,
unpack,
yeah,
like find water.
The worst it's ever been.
Yeah.
Whoa! So you moved like at this? You've been like in town for like a month at this point, right?
Like 2 or 3 weeks, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Nah. That was like that was a weird day because that was Stone Arch weekend, which like honestly the weather's great, but the first day kind of tricked me because it was like sunny the whole time, and I was like, I can do this. No, like it was like hot and 100-degree hot are different hot. Like it's like, and I didn't notice it until like you're midway through, and I think maybe it's like that frog in the boiling pot thing where it's just like you don't know until you're already cooked, and like it was like by like halfway through the day where it's like too late now. Like I'm just out there where it's just like I almost like feel like my thoughts were solid, and they were like I can like feel them navigating.
Yeah.
Like it was just my brain was soup, and it was just like being cooked out there. And like the heat index is like I used to just be like, oh, how it feels. It's like that's not real. It's like, nah, I don't know. 100-degree is like no joke, but 108 is that was nothing to shake a stick at. Like that was something else. If you had shade, it wasn't too bad, but like no, it's this state. In the winter, don't go outside. In the summer, don't go outside.
All 4 seasons, baby. You know. Yeah, it gets that heat level point where it's just like I don't think well. Like I just like cannot function, and it's just like, you know, that like I feel like I just like grunt and like find water and like, you know, try to survive. Like
I legitimately feel dumber when it's that hot. Yeah. Like I just don't think I'm firing on all cylinders. Absolutely. And I don't think you are. I think like there is an element that slows your brain down. Like you're doing extra work just to be a human.
Yeah.
So like just the calories it takes, like you're pretty much just kind of, yeah. At least I definitely noticed I didn't really have much room outside of the blinders. I'm just like, wait, what's going on? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Does that have anything to do with me getting that thing on that stage in the next 15 minutes? Because I don't know if I have the capacity to think about anything else other than being like that the pack mule of like, that's great. I need to get that thing over there. Like that's kind of where I couldn't do small talk. Not in a grumpy way though. Like not in a like don't talk to me until I've had my coffee way. Just more kind of like a like people would ask me questions, just be like, yeah, no, we could totally get that. I'm sorry, did you already ask me that? Right. Okay. No, we will get you that. We will get you that right after I finish loading in Oh no, wait, that's you guys. Okay, you're already here. Never mind. All right. Well, we can like that kind of thing. It was just like it's not that I was like aggressive to talk to. It's just like I was useless. Like it's just like you are not gonna get anything other than like friendly wastes of time. I'm just like, this is gonna go nowhere. I'm sorry, I might not even make sense. Like I was doing that thing where like, you know how your ADD brain like will try to make a connection, and like you're just trying to go off the last reference point you had, like you were having a conversation, and then like I couldn't even like reference the fact that like the last conversation I had with some of these people was like with emails. So I would like make like a reference like jokingly, because like that's like how I try to include people, where it's just like, yeah, like this, right? And it's just like, yeah, that's like a correspondence I had with them like 6 weeks ago. So they're just like, yeah. Was I not supposed to be? I'm like, no, you're good. It's yeah, yeah, just the like, just there's that level of. I was trying, genuinely trying, just like not sticking any. I was just sending shit.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like actually landing. Like occasionally, sometimes, but like it was like a t-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
At like a baseball game. Like I don't think it was the intended target, but every once in a while, a guy would be like, "Hey, yeah, all right, I got all right." Like it wasn't like. Yeah, I don't think I hurt anybody, but didn't get much done other than other than what I needed to get done. So yeah, I don't know like how I would handle. Like I have friends who be like, "Oh, you would love New Orleans." I'm just like, "Yes, I would." But I don't think I am built to live there year round. I think I would I think I would eventually be like the person who ain't from around there, and then my brain would do that thing, and they'd just be like they would just be like, all right, yeah, city boy over there just can't. Like I just don't think I don't think it would work. I think I would just get in the way. Like other than music, like what do I bring to the table? Down. Oh, stand by. We're about to go back on the air.
Absolutely.
Beach House off a Teen Dream, Silver Soul, and Rebellion Lies off a Funeral Arcade Fire, both off of Sleeping Jesus' Desert Island Picks list. So if you're following offline, we are talking on Facebook and YouTube and all the social media sites. If you are the kind that likes to, and I've been finding out more and more about this. So it's like just at Pledge Drive, we're trying to reach as many of you as possible, almost like a family reunion of just like, hey, you know, like, what are you up to? What's going on? So I am aware that some people do not listen to the radio at all. They just watch the videos. So, and I've noticed that there are some people just watching there and not necessarily on our Discord or online or on air. So welcome. So if you were hanging out with there, please don't do so while you're driving. If you're the kind to play along at home, if you didn't know we have videos, yeah, we do that. So if you just tuned in and you just found out about that, check out the videos and be sure to check out our pledge drive at KFAI.org. If you found out about anything, either just a band I'm talking to or a band I've played on this show, why don't you show something for the effort at KFAI.org. You can pledge anytime. I know some of you listen to this show after the fact just because you live either in a different country or on a different coast. There is still time. Donate anytime at KFAI.org and tell them Desert Island sent you. We also are going to get to new Sleeping Jesus, but we are kind of going to work through the Desert Island's picks list here. And I want to be brief just so we can get through as much of it as possible. If I end up yakking too much, the playlist will be posted underneath this video, and you can hear all the songs we didn't have time to play for. So I know you did the Desert Islands picks by committee. I don't want to go individually and call them out. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw up an Instagram story of just like we can talk about who's who. Because mainly we are running out of time. I'm yakking enough already. And we talked about the fact that you have a single out right now, and then the full record is going to drop July 25th or 26th?
25th, yep.
25th. Okay, so that leaves, of course, we're going to talk about the local calendar, usually at the top of the hour, but that's going to come a little bit later. Let's talk about this release show, because this record is going to come in July. Release show is in August at the Turf Club, yeah?
Yeah, that's Turf. August 19th, where we've got Dark Bunny and Grand Couriers playing with us too.
Nice. So Dark Bunny is another artist that, because I play Winona a lot, almost to the point where like I don't know who lives there anymore. It's like I feel like I see, and y'all were one of those bands for me as well, where it's just like I feel like I see y'all more outside of Winona than I did in Winona. Like even when I was in Winona, I would still run into you, but like it's just like I feel like I see you more at other places. Dark Bunny is another one of those artists where it's just like, wait, are you still from Winona? Like I know you. Like it's like, who lives there? And so like I've been running into Dark Bunny outside of Winona more than in. But it's always good to see people with driftless connections make connections outside of the city, because one, the driftless just kind of has a strange magic. So it's just kind of nice that like people kind of like, it's almost like carrying the torch, where it's just like, yeah, there's just like, so I love getting back there as much as possible, but it's good to see bands collaborate there as well. Okay, so perfect. August 19th at the Turf Club. We will be talking more about that, but I do want to make sure we get back to this Desert Islands picks list. So speaking of Winona, speaking of Twin Cities, here's a track by David Byrne called Home here on KFAI. Yeah, this is what happens. Like, I think 2 hours is a lot of time, and then it's not. And now I'm just like, okay, do I even have enough time to get through all this crap that I said I was going to do on the air? So if the on-air portions seem a little bit rushed, forgive me. I'm trying to jam in details about y'all with Pledge Drive and making sure that that is not a 10-minute break every time. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot it was Pledge Drive this week. It snuck up on me.
You're making up for it.
And now we're here. So I'm doing my best. I definitely feel like it's not like a pop quiz. Like I knew it was coming, but it was just more like, oh shit, that's today. No, we're gonna be good. Like it's I'm not gonna fail the test. It's just like I definitely would have gotten. Ooh. Sorry, we are live on the air. Uh-oh. Yeah, I said a curse word on the air. Great. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like I have enough to get the information, but like I thought we were doing next week, not this week, because I have moving brain, and I'm just like, oh, great, okay. Everything is like 2 weeks ahead, and now that it's here, I'm just like, no, that's going to be great. I have plenty of time for Pledge Drive, and no, I don't. Now it's here. Great.
I totally understand that.
I thought that was next month.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what's going on. But yeah, so let's talk about this record because with the Sweet and Lonely stuff, there was like, oh, this is like a vehicle where like you can kind of explore like this like, but like now I feel like there are elements of the Sweet and Lonely like direction in the full band. So now it just got me excited because I was just like, I didn't know what the future of Sleeping Jesus was going to be, just because I was just like, oh wait, like Nick's in the Twin Cities now. And it's like, oh no, Andy's here. It's like, okay. So like at first I was just like, I guess we're just gonna get to that band when we're going to get to that band.
Mhm.
But now I'm just like, oh, cool. All right, cool. Game on. All right. It's like, so like, was this a quarantine project that you always were like, no, I want to make sure this is out when, I don't know, like when we can like properly like, oh, we can release it and then we can tour and then we can like, like we can do the things that like musicians normally do when they release stuff? Or was this like something you were just kind of like, well, let's, we got the time, let's work on this record?
Yeah, we started it I think in like 2019 kind of with the hopes that we were going to like put it out in 2020 or 2021 and then like the whole pandemic happened and it just ended up taking way longer to make the record than we thought it was going to.
Right.
Things were weird and then it was like then it got to the point well like oh if we can't properly do release shows and tour and all that stuff like you said, then let's just wait a little bit to put it out.
So were there like was this record just done for a while then?
Kind of like most of it had been tracked for a while.
Okay.
And then the mixing was like kind of a longer and the mixing and production was like kind of a longer process.
I think this is why bands don't mix their own records, or at least I'm finding this out the hard way, because otherwise, like, I feel like you can change an entire record inadvertently because like you're so close to it and you're like, oh, this thing has been nagging me the entire time, and I feel like if I just, and then you end up like shaving it so much that like the character is different, or because you're so close to it, like you feel like it's just like, oh, I'll get around to it. Oh, I get around, and it's just like, and then it's just like either way, like it never gets done because you're pushing it in two different directions. It's like either like you're always working on it, or it's just like it never will get done because it's like you're just living in it all the time. And it's just like it being too close to it, like you can either prevent it from being the thing it's supposed to be, or just like massaging it so much that like it kind of becomes something that it's not the thing you fell in love with when you were making it. And sometimes that can be okay, but sometimes it can be like, I don't know, maybe that's just like stuff like artist stuff in your head where it's just like, because you are so close to it, like, is that only thing like you yourself are thinking because you made it, where it's just like, like it's like the I went better in rehearsals feeling. Yeah, it's like, wow, it's good, but like we really, it's just like have you just been living in that so much where it's just like I don't know, but also like mixing and mastering are such like an art within themselves that I feel it's almost beneficial to just like give that to someone who knows what they're doing. And like they like actually like they know how to like bring life out of parts without like, it's more than just like making something louder and quieter. It's like it's almost like putting something in a dimensional space that like that like it just it creates a texture that like I don't know how to do.
There was that like we had our producer mix it, which was like the good part for us, and you know I remember hearing like the final mixes, and then just after like getting those back from mastering, where it was just like, holy, like I had no idea it could like expand that way. You know, like falling in love with the mixes and then hearing the masters and just being like, this sounds like out of this world.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, so who'd you work with on this go round?
Mike Noyce produced the record with us, and then he also mixed it. And we got to hang out, you know, while he was mixing it too, which was cool. And then Mike Bozzi did the master.
Nice. Where is that studio out of?
So Mike Noyce was living in Milwaukee when we started the record.
Gotcha.
So we did a little bit of the recording in Milwaukee. We did a little bit of it in Winona with him coming up here. And then he moved to Minneapolis in 2021. And that's where we kind of finished the record in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the I've noticed that it people have kind of had to do records in like 3 places.
Yeah.
And well, I don't understand how people do it the old-fashioned way without, because even record labels don't really do what I think people think they do. Like I think it's like, oh yeah, we got signs. It's like this all-inclusive vacation to like Pachyderm Studios, and like there's like a water slide there for some reason. Like, I don't know like what they think, but usually like labels don't provide much financial support for that kind of thing. So it's like, unless you're like on, I don't even know like if Sub Pop like has deep pockets like this anymore, but like a certain like level of a label, like who has time to just post up at a studio for like a month?
Yeah.
I feel like people can like, you can get like a few days and then like you take that and like maybe you can schedule more time, but like I feel like it just feels, it's like you get what you get here, and then like you have to like put a part of your vision into like, all right, let's just do all of vocals here, because if you do some, like the tone's gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
And it's just like doing that stuff is like I don't know, but it's just like, especially during that period too. I feel like a lot of people were doing that, but like even when we live in an era where like there isn't a pandemic like running rampant, like I don't know how bands could afford to track like that anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest obstacle. And we did it we self-funded the record essentially, so it's like it wasn't even an option for us.
Yeah. I think like one of the biggest things we had conversations about is like, you know, can we get a good drum sound? Because like for a lot of the stuff, like, you know, bass, a lot of the guitars were DIN, you know, like we didn't really move a lot of air except for drums.
Right.
So if we can get a good drum sound, like, you know,
that's all you need.
Yeah. And then we can track everything else remotely. And, you know, fortunately, like we had, you know, Mike, who had like a bunch of preamps and stuff like that, so we could get some like good colorization on the way in. But like, you know, that was kind of our thought process. Like, if we can get good drum sounds here, like, let's just do it all at home.
You might as well, because I feel like the drums are the most important. I think like, I don't know if this is like a singer-songwriter thing, but like in your head you think like vocals is just like, oh, we need to go to a studio for vocals, and it's just like, I feel like you can get good tone out of a 58.
Yeah.
Like if you really like, I don't know, if you get a good take and you EQ it right.
Yeah.
Like a 58 is gonna sit easier in a mix than like, it's almost like fiddling too much with your guitar tone, where it's just like, oh yeah, like it's just like what you're doing is you're just creating a wall of sound where nothing else can fit except your guitar, and it sounds terrible in a mix because it's like it's literally clogging everyone else's, like you're sitting on everyone's cloud.
Yep.
Like everything that makes like the characteristic of the bass sound like a bass, like it's just like you all that frequencies are there, and then like you're, you know, like it's so it's just, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like once you get the drums, you can build a whole record on a good drum sound, but like you can never go back and tweak.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I don't know, you can. I would mess with vocals more than I would mess with drums. I almost feel like, yeah, but I'm also not like I know enough about recording to like, I would produce my friend's record. I wouldn't like offer it as like a service, because I feel like that would be, I feel like everyone would just end up having a really bad time. Like, so it's just like, I'm not really the person. I know enough about the thing to make the thing happen, but like there are certain things it's just like, oh, I need a new fuel pump in my I'm not going into my own gas tank. That's not, you know, like that's like, and drum tones are like, and even mastering, like unless it's like a really DIY project, like then I'll like go use like the mastering robot or whatever. But like all that stuff is just like, no, I don't know how to, like that's like, once someone has built that, I'm not touching it. I'm not like, that's like, I'll crack things open. I'll crack open anything else and like mess with it. And it's like, oh, look, we can get this if you do it this way. But that's like a, yeah, I like, I don't even.
And I feel like too, if like you're mastering your own project, there's always that risk of like, you know, you're just going to do the things that you like. Like you already mixed it, you have it sounding the way you want it to. Like when you master it, it's like, all right, let's make it more of this. Like I feel like it's important to have that collaboration there of like, throw it out and just get someone else's ears, you know. Yeah.
It's otherwise it just, yeah, and it's like, well, also I still don't actually know what mastering does. Like I know what it does, and I feel like no one wants to admit that they don't actually know what it does, because it's like it's just like a thing everyone has to do, and it's expensive. So I think everyone's just like, yeah, I know what it does. You don't know what it does? Yeah. Check out, get a load of this guy. Yeah, it's probably why you're not as, you know, like it's just like I know that like it is, you're basically like trying to EQ, like have a master EQ so it just sounds natural coming out of any set of speakers. And you're like, you're going in and like just taking out or putting back in like certain frequencies that are going to do that. So I get that. It's just like, I feel like mixing a record is a lot like when you're focusing on rhythm, like on a different instrument, and you're trying to just like, oh, I need to tighten up my rhythm. You work on that. Like it's just like, all right, you woodshed with a metronome, you come back in. I feel like mastering is like doing that for choreography or dance. It's not that you don't have rhythm. It's just what they're counting is not what you're counting.
Yeah.
And what a mastering engineer is EQing, you know, like my musician brain is just like, ah, man, the high end sounds like shit, I gotta go in there. But like a mastering engineer knows that like, oh, the high end sounds like shit because there's too much going on over here, and if I took this out, you wouldn't even notice. Like that's why they get paid to do that, because they know it's like, oh, the human ear isn't responding to this because there's like this thing that like on a set of speakers, you're never going to be able to hear that. So you have to take like that. That's what they know how to. And it's like, I don't actually know what is going on,
Yeah.
but they do like that. That's why that's why you get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I have no idea like what you would be listening for. Like I almost feel like at that point, the speakers are your instrument. Like it, like you know how every set of speakers responds, or it's just like, oh yeah, this brand of speakers, like for some reason they always do this. It's just like, I feel like that's where you are with that like level of like almost to the point of stand by. Dijon here on KFAI. We also have Rihanna and Frank Ocean and David Byrne here on Pledge Drive. We are asking for your money and anything helps. Seriously. Summer Pledge Drive. It's going to be a quick one. But we're going to make it count. So anything at any time will work. You can go on kfai.org and donate for Desert Islands at any time. Also, we just have a slew of great programs. For instance, Women Folk Before Me, Poetry, Science, and Wrestling Before Women Folk, but also East of Here, West of Now, Free Willin' with Jackson Buck, Poetry, Beats, Rhymes, and Democracy, Pardon My Dust, New Like Whatever. There's a bunch of programs that I like listening to in my car. So if my program is one of those, show me something for the effort. But if you find yourself listening to KFAI pretty often, we'd love to have you as a sustaining member, but we also know times are weird. So everything helps. Every single donation, the change in your couch right now, if everyone donated that, everyone listening on Twitch and commenting on Twitch, if everyone just donated $1, that is actually a sizable chunk of change at this point. So there's no donation too small. So let's talk about, we already talked about the release show, and we've been kind of talking about the production on this new record. So forgive me for retreading, just because we've been kind of talking this to death, but who did you work with on this new record? Because you mentioned you did a lot of it at home, but where did you track this new Sleeping Jesus record, and who did you work with as far as the post-production end?
Yeah, we worked with Mike Noyce. He was living in Milwaukee when we started the record, so we were down there quite a few times doing some tracking. He came up to Winona, and we did like the drums here. We even had like a week where we stayed at a farm in Northfield, Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's kind of where we finished the tracking. And then in that kind of time frame, Mike moved to Minneapolis, and we finished the little bits of tracking there, and then started the mixing.
Where did you track in Winona? Did you just make a studio, or did he kind of have something already there?
So I lived in a house where there was a basement, and I ran a snake down there, and then we had all our like preamps and stuff upstairs. So we just did that. It was very smooth for us.
Yeah, no, for real. So at any point did you have to physically be in Milwaukee, or was that just kind of sending tracks back and forth?
No, we made quite a few trips down there to do the tracking. Wow, like some Wurlitzer and guitar and anything. Yeah,
we got really good at file management and having thumb drives.
Master for real this time. Final mix 2.
Yeah.
Final mix 3. I'm just that is just I'm just projecting at this point. That is my because clearly I have things all together. So here on Desert Islands, I make mixtapes for my guests based on the 10 records they would bring to a desert island. Today, I'm making one for Sleeping Jesus. They have a new single out, which we will hear in a few seconds here. But first, we're going to hear a track off a new record I'm really digging called Topical Dancer. And we're going to hear from Beyonce. We're also going to hear from this.
It's time again for the KFAI Answer Man. We want to make your life just a little bit happier, and we never charge a fee. A listener writes,
I think I only have to do 2 of these. It's just like the...
I like
okay.
opinions on stuff and big corporations like giving me money and stuff, and like I want to know why people like you and stuff, and how I could like get on the radio and stuff and like take over your listeners.
Sorry, I'm getting another comment.
That would be like give me another demographic and stuff. So
I don't think anything's on it.
Dear Wynn, the trend right now is toward niche specificity. With Nano and
I'm getting comments that things are live, and I'm just like, but nothing's on. Nothing's on. I'm just gonna get a complex from that. It's just like, nothing's on. Normally, the telltale sign is to have the background music on, but we keep getting kicked off the internet because it hears something. And then we have to challenge the video, and then we always win the appeal because like we're a radio station, like we pay for licensing. So it's like, but the initial thing of like getting kicked off, it's like people are watching, and then the stream cuts. Yeah. And then you just have to watch the archive later. So like I tried to not have that. The problem is there's no way of really knowing if something is live or not without turning the house up to like that's like the fail safe. Yeah. So now it's just like I'm gonna have a complex permanently. I'm just like, all right, what's live?
You're gonna be home sleeping and like wake up in the middle of the night. It's like, oh no, am I live again?
I know. It's weird because like I definitely like had that moment like last night where I'm just like that, like, oh, I forgot my homework dream. You know, like I've been having. It's just like, and it's just like like. I keep thinking like when's that other shoe gonna drop? And that's you say shit on the air. there's the other shoe. It's the shit shoe right there.
we're gonna watch you get carried out.
yeah. Like it's just like it's as cartoonish as possible. Like 2 men in suits. So it's like no. Like lifting me out of the chair. And that's the last you see of me. Although we joke, but I feel like I feel like I was like writing songs about like fascist America during the Bush administration. Oh, hey, we got a new pledge. Cool. And like during like the Obama years, it was almost like funny to like joke about it, where it's just like, but like in 5 years we're just gonna be fascist. And it's just like now I feel like every year like we're normalizing stuff at like a terrifying rate. Like I feel like 2 years ago it's just like it's just like like a lot of that stuff has happened. Like at this point I'm just like I criticize dear leader DeSantis, and I'm just dead now. That's like like it's like Stephen Fry and V for Vendetta. Like it's just like they let you have a show for a little bit and then they'll kill you on the air.
It definitely feels like we're in that free fall right now into
Well, like I was talking to someone about like I was trying to apply to the student debt relief because like I work with a lot of public service organizations. Like the schools I teach music with are public schools, and or their after school programs for. It's just like, or, like this is an Ampers organization. Like I do a lot of work with, so I was like, just kind of talking with someone about like trying to like apply for these like debt relief programs. Cause I was just like, in 2 years, like we're all just going to be in prison for like debtor's prison anyway. I'm just like, it's like, I feel like the country totally could get there, but it was like, and it was just like, you should probably take care of that for retirement. And I'm just like, no, no, I want to take care of that because I'm going to be thrown into the gulag for not making enough money. That's that's what I'm really retired. None of us are going to retire.
Retire to what too? Like
the
hot system we're to live in?
Yeah, like it's like that's like what worries me is the amount of bigwigs, because I have a few friends in Duluth who've been telling me like Silicon Valley money has been buying land up there.
Yep.
And it's like, it's because it then hit me. It's not that they want to invest in the community and be like, oh, like the Midwest's hottest city is Duluth, like they're not looking for like, they literally think their money can buy them out of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like, well, they're like, well, that's going to be a problem for everyone else, but like we're going to have they're buying swaths of land in like UP, Michigan, Duluth, Kalamazoo. You know, like there's like a lot of places where it's just like they're just like, oh no, yeah, we're just gonna ride this out, and it's just like, it's like I don't think it works that way. Like it's gonna be really hard to like hoard resources when money isn't real.
Yeah. It's like in Eau Claire too. Like they just had a company from California come in and like try to make a big plastic water bottle company. Like that would take like a.
No, it's definitely a thing. It's a huge thing.
Yeah, it's it's the Midwest is going to be the last untouched place of climate change, or the most resilient.
And that's what the game is at this point. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like they're not doing it because it's like, oh yeah, like I think these kids out here were right all along. It's just like, no, it's just, it's a land grab. Yep. And that is definitely what's happening. And I feel like like on one hand, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's like I am not rationalizing this. I think I'm just like dissociating, you know, like it's such traumatic information that I think like my brain is just kind of compartmentalizing, going like, well, I mean, like, I guess we live in a pretty good spot then. You know, like
it's called
like, hey, we picked a winner. Like that's kind of how it feels, like that level of gallows humor. Okay, so after Beyonce, now we're gonna do the calendar thing, and then we're going to I'm just literally going to read a list of shows off of this laptop, and then we're gonna play the new song. And by that point, I feel like the show will probably be kind of over. Because this is like 2 minutes left, and then like once this tune is over, it's like the script. We'll talk about the Turf Club show once again, just because it's like, hey, we're already talking about shows. Let's reiterate that, but also the video audience is kind of like a podcast, which is like why I try not to repeat questions, because like there are people who like watch it, they're like, they already talked about this. But like radio, like it can be a different audience tuning in every 15 minutes. So it's like it kind of helps to bring up the same things of just like, wait, who is this? You forgot to say who it is. And like that does happen. And I didn't really feel it until I was like on the receiving end of it once, where like I was like having some windshield time, and I was just like in the car for like 30 minutes. And I was just like, all right, eventually they're going to tell me who.
Yeah, you really got to turn the subtlety knob down. You know?
Yeah. It's like, yeah. So we will reiterate the Turf Club show. That'll be a good time to do it. But also, we're getting to the top of the hour, which is just like a new audience. So we might as well just kind of reiterate everything, the who's, the what's, the where's, the whys, and where people can get it. But that's going to happen in about like 20-ish seconds. And then, so stand by for that. 10 seconds. Beyonce off of Lemonade. We also heard Charlotte Desiree and Bolus Pupil. That is off of Topical Dancer. It's a really cool record that I've been I can't put it down. I feel like I'm listening to it every time I am in the car for more than 30 minutes. That's my go-to. So new music from that. And we also have some local music coming up after this set. But first, let's talk about some shows happening tonight, this week, and beyond. So tonight, you heard Amanda Grace perform live on Women Folk a few hours ago. She's playing at the Landmark Center right at noon, right? I believe at 1 p.m. So it's an afternoon show in St. Paul. Also tonight, Catfish Troy Band, Brian Erb, Tang and the Tabs, Cody Steinman Trio. This is all at Mortimer's. Brian Erb does not play local shows too often. He is teching for a bunch of different bands. 100 Gex, Bush. He's everywhere. So when he's in town, it's kind of cool that he gets to play a show. So that's happening tonight. Tomorrow, Fractal Geometry at Red Sea. A bunch of DJs, noise artists, and visual artists are going to take over the Red Sea. This is a monthly installation. Here's the July edition at Red Sea. Malin Manya is going to be doing Groovin' in the Garden at the Como Conservatory. So if you like seeing the flowers in Como Conservatory, you're going to love seeing Malin Manya. That is all tonight. This is all happening tonight. So let's get in tomorrow. Volk from Nashville. Loser Magnet and Super Flasher and Birdhole are going to support Volk at Mortimer's. Lower Town Sounds featuring High Respects, MC Longshot, and Laserbeak is tomorrow. Mears Park in St. Paul. Friday, Jaden James, Taba, Superior Siren at the Hook and Ladder. Friday, July 15th. We also have Tulip's final show. I will not have time to play some Tulip. But we will have time for new Sleeping Jesus and new Tim is a Rocker, who is also going to have a release show on Saturday. So Tulip's final show at Mortimer's on Friday, Tim's a Rocker release show, Bryant Lake Bowl on Friday, Saturday, Careful Gaze release show. Hopefully we can have time to play new Careful Gaze. Looking ahead, Venus to Mars is playing every Tuesday at 331. And then August 5th, LPF release show with Alien Book Club at 7th Street entry. This is LPF's first Minnesota show in 4 years, which is crazy. But we're also going to hear a track from Asia Minor. This is a brand new band making their debut performance at that show. So let's just get right to it. This is new Sleeping Jesus here on KFAI. Just because we have like 10 minutes left and I want people to hear this thing. So you can hear this now on streaming services and the record is going to be out July 25th. Here is New Year's on KFAI. Okay, it is playing. Normally... sorry about that hot mic earlier. I'm a mess.
No.
I supposed to give away tickets to Adrian Ballou?
No, don't worry about that.
Because I saw someone else gave them away, and I was like, oh, I don't
don't
want to give away tickets. I don't want people to be like,
No worries.
I won tickets. It's just like, no, you didn't.
Nah, no worries.
Oh,
That's
I
big deal.
honestly
Okay,
thought
cool,
there was,
cool.
testing
Okay.
on there.
Just so you know,
Driving me nuts.
we are off
Good thing we
here
didn't
on the
do this in
FM
the
signal,
house.
but we're still online.
Okay.
They're doing repairs to the IDS tower just because of the storm last night.
Oh, yeah, that was really weird. Sorry, I'm talking to Miguel.
So in case you get phone calls of people wanting to let you know that you're off the FM.
Oh, okay, because I have been getting phone calls. It's usually just someone who wants to pledge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just so in case you get extra phone calls or anything, we're off on the FM air, but
Okay, that
off
makes
air
sense.
on FM, but we're still online.
That makes sense.
So
Okay, all right.
Get ready
Cool.
to field these Democracy Now phone calls.
No, I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run
I'll
as
try to
soon as the show's over.
as much as I can.
I can't. My skin's too thin. Okay, thank
But
you.
you can thank folks for listening online.
Yes, and I will. Okay. All right. That's good then.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, the good news is, the storm knocked out our transmitter, so we are only streaming to half our audience anyway. So I can fucking curse whenever I want. No, I should not do that.
Oh, we're live now.
But oh no, yeah. Well, I mean, like that's the thing. Like that is the problem. Is like we are. Like if you are like in range of like our studio, yeah, but like we're probably not being broadcast like to the whole metro, you know, where it's just like you can listen to this like driving on 694 or something, you know, like it's more of like we just have to power it down for like 40 minutes so we can actually get someone to like touch the thing, and then because I don't know how it works, like because I've never done it. Like every time I have it explained to me, like it just like I'm just imagining that like it's just like a giant Wi-Fi router, and like they just have to like unplug it and plug it back in, and then they're like, yep, that's like it's like that's kind of, but that's basically what's happening. So yeah, but luckily, you know, I don't know, I feel like more people listen to this show on the archive anyway. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. We have after your track, there's gonna be this new track by this band called Asia Minor, and then we're gonna be back on the air after I play these cart things, and then that's gonna be like the final wrap up where we just have to like say who, the what, the where, the why, just because we're like really running out of time. But I'm also going to go as soon as possible, just because I am anticipating a lot of angry phone calls from people expecting to hear Democracy Now! And they can't hear Democracy Now! Because they don't live in Minneapolis proper. And what I'm trying to say is donate to KFAI, because heaven help our phone operators. There are going to be so many angry phone calls of and we are aware of it. We're fixing it. Oh God. Oh, heaven help those people, because that's going to be rough. That's going to be, and I don't want to be near the phone. I'm gonna get out of here as quickly as possible. But yeah, so anything you would like to plug or promote on top of that in that time, just kind of like say it. It's gonna be quick anyway, and then hopefully I can get this new King Perry track. I think. We're not gonna have time for the whole thing. I'll just have it playing in the background while we talk. How about that? That is just gonna have to be how it goes down. Yeah, so that'll be 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and then we will have 60 seconds. Like maybe 120 seconds to do all that, and then yeah, that'll be it. But I'm gonna try to get out of here as quickly as possible. So as soon as that happens, I'm probably just gonna like click end broadcast, and it's like, so don't take it personally. It's just like I'm gonna get out of Dodge. But yeah, it's just like so I guess because I'm not gonna have time to ask this on the air, my personal question is, now that both of you are up here, are you trying to get the rest of the cats up here, or is it this is just like, nah, I just need a change, want to live in the cities, or is this like the harbinger of like Sleeping Jesus becoming a Minneapolis band?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool if everybody was up there, but also like neither of us are like pushing any of the other guys, because
that's good. Yeah,
Winona's like a cool spot to live too.
Yeah,
and honestly,
it is a cool spot.
It works out pretty good. Like we'll do like multiple day rehearsals before shows and stuff like that, so it's almost like a little break or vacation to come down here. And sometimes the rest of the guys will come up to Minneapolis. So
that's good.
Yeah,
because I like Winona a lot. It's just like this. It's in a unique spot where it's just like, if you need to go to Chicago, it's not too far.
Mm-hmm.
But also there's just something about that area. Like there's just a lot of cool things going on down there. A lot of good musicians too. So like having an excuse to go back is kind of important to me.
Yeah.
And
it's a really good spot to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah. It's just like I don't know. Cause I feel like most of the time when I spend time down there, it's just like very temporary. And when I linger, it's because like I'm out in nature, and you're not, I'm doing my thing. You wouldn't even know I was down there. So it's like, I kind of just go in and it's just like, hey, this is great, I'm out of here. And I haven't ever, I haven't like been the day in, day out, cause it's like, I have my qualms with local politics. I can imagine being a smaller community, like it's less this unreachable monolith as much as just like, damn it, Eric, what are you doing? Like you actually could like give these people a piece of your mind. Stand by. So we just heard brand new Asia Minor. They are performing with LPF. This is their debut performance. So it's Austin from YYY, and we have members of Lunch Duchess as well. This is new King Perry, and this has been a mixtape for Sleeping Jesus. If you just heard New Year's, that single is out now. The full album is out July 25th, and then CD release shows at the Turf Club. Is that August 19th? Did I get that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
August 19th. So if folks like what they heard, where can they hear it again? Where's the best place for them to get the new Sleeping Jesus record? Because I know streaming services are kind of controversial right now. Is there a particular one you'd prefer them to go to, or
I mean, whatever anybody's using. Otherwise, we have our Bandcamp up where we have the pre-order for the album available too. So that's just sleepingjesusmusic.bandcamp.com, I think.
Perfect.
Or sleepingjesus.bandcamp.com.
Perfect. Well, congrats on the new record. I really love the sound of it. Congrats on the move. And hopefully I'll see you at the Turf next month. Next week.
Oh no, I don't know if it's us or counting. So. Oh no. Do I hit refresh?
Maybe. I feel like ours is still going though.
Yeah. It's interesting. It was like right at 12.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if it was like automated.
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah, refresh it. See what happens.